Oh, kaya mo naman siya kami nga nito, ma'am. Kung ang sanay lang nga nito, ma'am. Nimbula, ayaw Mr. Ben.
Ella ba?
Na magikiro manolo kinedyo na bimata ka moni chicken na fagarumbuka.
Nambula FM, number 2 and selling.
How would you like to spend your morning? You could spend your morning like this. Or you could spend it like this.
Tune in to the morning ride every weekday morning from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. right here on Today FM, Today's Hit Music.
Tonight, Fiji-New Zealand relations won't be easy to fix, says Fijian Prime Minister. Speculation on Airbus ownership put to rest. A National Fire Authority eyes Como Park for new headquarters. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and you're watching FBC News. Prime Minister Vorengeng Bainimarama says it will take some time to restore the trust Fiji had with its traditional neighbours Australia and New Zealand. The two governments have recently softened their stance towards Fiji, but Bainimarama says they were not there when Fiji needed them the most. Ritika Pratap reports.
The Prime Minister has welcomed the support shown by the international community on Fiji's new constitution, but says a lot of damage has already been done due to their past actions. Bainimarama says New Zealand's announcement on the sanctions are not satisfactory.
Even Macaulay's statement yesterday that only partial travel bans will be lifted demonstrates that they are really not genuine, nor do they really understand what is happening in Fiji. They are still also elitist in their approach to us, and they are not starting on a clean state, which we have always been prepared to do.
Bainimarama says Australia's expected Foreign Minister, Julie Bishop, has been supportive, but they will have to wait and see what happens next.
Now it's great that Tony Abbott has won the Australian election because his Foreign Minister, Julie Bishop, has been understanding towards us in a way that other Aussie and Kiwi politicians have not. But let's see what happens. If the travel bans and other sanctions don't go, there will be no kiss and make up with Australia.
The Prime Minister believes Fiji would have progressed faster with their support.
But I want to ask the questions, where were they when we really needed them? Last Friday, as I said in my speech, that I was very disappointed and dismayed about how Australia and New Zealand have tried to damage us as a nation. If they had supported us, all these reforms would have come a lot sooner. The election would have come a lot sooner.
Fiji's Foreign Minister Ratu Inoke Kumbambola has also in a statement stated that Fiji welcomes the incremental changes in the New Zealand stance, but it was regrettable they were of little impact at this late stage of Fiji's progress towards a return to democracy. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
All Airbus A330s belong to Fiji Airways. This was confirmed to FBC News by the new Chief Executive of the national airline, Stefan Pichler. Chanel Sivan with the story.
Questions raised about the ownership of the three A330 Airbuses have been put to rest today by the new Fiji Airways CEO, Sivan Pichler. In a statement, the People's Democratic Party called for enlightenment of the role of Wangavuka Financing Limited and its role in the acquisition of the new aircraft. The party claims the aircraft are owned by the Wangavuka Financing Limited and leased to Fiji Airways.
Finance vehicle to get the ECA, credit insurance, if you want to get financing from European banks. It's the way it is done. Every airline in the world does it. Has no impact on ownership. Like everybody else. Yeah, I've done it in a couple of airlines, every airline. In order to get the credit assurance for ECA, the European banks, you have to have this vehicle. All airlines have that. It is just a natural way of setting up the finance structure.
Pichler says people have misinterpreted the concept as this was a medium used to get the loan from the European banks. He goes on to say that they have cleared most of the loan from the Fiji National Provident Fund.
We have to fund ourselves, so we have to go in a profitable way. We don't want to waste any government resources which in the end is taxpayers' money. So that's what we try to do, and that's where we're going.
This is Pishla's 12th day in the country and says he is focused in turning the company into a world-class airline.
We have to grow, and of course we have to fund ourselves, so we have to go in a profitable way. We don't want to waste any government resources, which in the end is taxpayers' money. So that's what we try to do, and that's where we're going to try to do in the next couple of years.
Pishla took over the reins from Dave Fligger, who resigned earlier this year. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Fiji needs to think outside the box if it wants to achieve its ambitious aim as a regional and international trading heavyweight. Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama made the statement while delivering his opening address at the National Workshop on Fiji's Trade Policy Framework at the Holiday Inn in Suva this morning. Apisalome Doka reports.
Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama has expressed disappointment that some government sectors are delaying the implementation of trade initiatives that would make Fiji a competitive and dynamic economy.
I have to say that I'm deeply disappointed that some sections of government have been dragging their feet in embracing this initiative. I want them to know that there is no doubt at all, that the path towards integration of trade policy between all ministries and departments, as proposed by this framework, is the way forward. In fact, it's the only way forward.
Bainimarama has directed all government departments and ministries to work together.
I want more coordination. I want everyone to get with the framework, because as representatives of the same government, we need to work towards the common goal of improving our trade performance. It's as simple as that. All agencies need to realize that they are there to facilitate, not obstruct. All agencies need to work together to achieve the best outcomes for the nation. We need this to happen now.
The Prime Minister adds that Fijians no longer want to hear excuses. What they want are results.
We're also setting up a multi-stakeholder council chaired by the Minister for Trade and Minister for Industry and Trade to give each stakeholder an important role in determining our coordination effort. I hope you will also give that the serious consideration it deserves.
Bainimarama has also revealed government has already allocated $164,000 in the 2014 budget to implement this initiative, and also by providing adequate staffing to the Ministry of Industry and Trade. Apisalome Doka, FBC News.
The Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption has completed the examination of all its witnesses in the case against former FMPF Deputy General Manager Foana Nemani. This is the first absentia case in Fiji, where the trial proceeded without the accused. Foana Nemani is charged with extortion by public officer and abuse of authority. FICAC says Nemani had absconded voluntarily from court and chose not to exercise her right to be present and not to be legally represented. She left for New Zealand without the leave of the court. It's alleged Nemani authorized payment of a responsibility allowance amounting to $20,000 per annum without proper procedures. A total of 10 witnesses were called during the course of the trial, which included current and former employees of the fund. Summing up is on Monday. Samambula's Como Park could soon be home to the National Fire Authority's new head office. Currently, the head office is at Walu Bay, and according to NFA CEO John O'Connor, they need a more strategic location to allow for a quicker response to fires. Shireen Lata reports.
The National Fire Authority has selected Como Park in Samambula as an ideal venue for their headquarters.
NFA has applied to the City Council, to the Ministry of Land and Town and Country Planning, if we could be allocated this spot to build our head office and also a fire station. An application is being processed.
According to NFA statistics, the number of fires happening in Tamavua, Samambula and surrounding areas are quite high, and the closer they get, the better the response time.
That's why we had started looking for land, is because there was a survey done in sometimes in 2007, and it identified that the current location is sitting on the earthquake belt. And secondly, if there's a tsunami and the bridge to Walu Bay is damaged, then our link to the capital city will be affected.
People living in this area have the right to give their submissions until the 23rd of this month, whether they support having the fire station and the NFA headquarters in their area. National Fire Authority also plans to build a tower here so that they can monitor what's happening in the city area and respond to situations should the need arise.
There were concerns about the park. You know that there's a child's park, and members of the community had raised their concerns if we can relocate the park to somewhere within this park. And NFA has considered that. Also, as part of a suggestion from the community, was for us to upgrade this playing field.
If all goes well, the development will start early next year. Shaheen Lata, FBC News.
After the break, submissions made to start purchasing brand new vessels.
Isambol binaka, nadhango wadi soni dalai, nama kio mani wasini ngono borota kina lali ne kabi, mai na tolu kina bitu, ena moni tingina por rombuka, ena Bula FM, na bandu ena serre.
Bula, I'm Wame. Join me every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on The Center Show with classic hits from the 70s as well as the 80s right here on Gold FM.
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. Construction of the number Walun-Raketi Highway is progressing well. This $120 million capital project was awarded to China Railway First Group. And the Fiji Roads Authority says work has been progressing well. This is a vital link connecting Lambasa and Viti Levu through the port of Nambo Walu. The upgrade is part of government's Look North policy. The Transport Ministry is hoping to get the all clear from government to start getting in brand new vessels from next year. Currently, second-hand ships are bought from overseas, and according to Director Transport Louis Naisara, it's becoming more expensive to maintain them. Vosita Kote Wasawasa reports.
The ministry has been trying to cope with the high maintenance costs of repairing second-hand government vessels.
We have to do with buying in second-hand vessels. With buying in second-hand vessels, it comes in that you have a high maintenance cost. Coming in with a new one, made to fit our conditions and the passenger intake, and so does the cargo. We believe that that is the way forward.
Naisara adds the purchase of new vessels will also boost the standard of service to the people.
It's going to be expensive in the upfront because you need a lot of upfront money in it, but in the long run it pays off. How fair that government will see that they will give us, we'll work forward from there. But the intention is to get new vessels.
Naisara says they have requested for $9 million for this purpose. The 2014 budget is expected to be announced in November. Vosita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.
5 dialysis machines worth close to $100,000 have been donated to the Lautoka Hospital by the Beecroft Rotary of Sydney, Australia. The handover was done yesterday by Ilyas Yassin to the Ministry of Health. These machines will give relief to kidney patients in Lautoka who had to travel as far as Suva in the past and to Nadi for dialysis. The ministry says the new dialysis centre at Lautoka Hospital should be operational in 2 months' time after their staff get trained. In the meantime, 1 machine will be used at the intensive care unit.
It's very significant in the Western Division. As we are aware, we only have one in Nandi, which is the SANS Medical Center. And having these machines in Lautoka Hospital will certainly boost the capacity of the health service in Lautoka, as well as improve the health standards of our patients out there with end-stage kidney disease.
And we've reached sports now, and Jamie's here with the latest.
Thank you, Jackie, and good evening. Coming up in sports, volunteers hope to secure a bright rugby league future for Fiji youths, and women's sevens coach to be named soon. Details after the break.
नमस्ते दोस्तों, मिर्ची रफ्तार से मैं अश्निल सिंह। शामिल हो जाइए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे फ्रॉम 3 to 7 PM।
Nimbula, medango nimilote na isaro tambua. Nama kia umenarua kina ona na via kavi moniti kina wakarambuka. Rongo mena via sana kina viva ka baro takini ndreko malolo. Ena Radio Fiji One na wongani via niano. Ngai nama kia kina.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Namosi Mento Timothy Wainingolo is tipped to be named the Fiji Women's Sevens coach. The Fiji Rugby Union Board has already decided on the names for coach and manager for the team, which is likely to be released next week. Wanga, who took the team to the World Cup in Russia, is the top bet to continue in the position. Tomorrow, close to 30 youths will get the chance to prove themselves and be considered for rugby league scholarships and possible overseas contracts. An outreach program coordinated by UK volunteers in Fiji for some time now is beginning to unfold. And once trials are completed in Lauvala Bay this weekend, potential players will get a fair idea on what their futures may hold. Elena McDonald reports.
Months of introductions, negotiations and on-field activities with local talent has led to tomorrow's trials and the start of something fresh.
We've just spoke to the headmasters from around the Suva and the Zui area, and we're going to get the 30 best rugby league players, and we're going to give them some education in the professional lifestyle of rugby league, health, nutrition.
And in between all of this, some handy coaching clinics and skills training will be thrown in to help their cause.
In a trial match, and then we're going to use the footage that we get to promote the players around the world and promote our events for the next year.
Should feedback prove to be forthcoming, a whole new window of opportunity will present itself for rugby league in Fiji.
International events that we're hoping to host, a rugby league tournament and a rugby union tournament. From there, we're going to have international schools coming over to play, and there's going to be opportunities for the best Fiji talent to go the other way in scholarships and contracts overseas.
Trials begin from 11 tomorrow morning, and who knows, we may get a shot at seeing up-and-coming Vodafone Fiji Bati Rips in the making. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Football Association will release the names of the players selected in the Southern and Western All-Stars teams on Monday. Voting ends this weekend and the two teams meet on Saturday week at Churchill Park during the FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour by Coca-Cola.
We are just arranging things in the weekend. After the naming of the team on Monday, the southern team obviously will have to travel to the west a day before. So we have already spoken to the coaches. They are planning themselves up, and basically the west southern team will come to west on Friday, and the western team will assemble again here in Band on Friday.
The two teams will be coached by Ravinesh Kumar and Marika Rondu, respectively. The RFMF Wives and Mothers Club Inter-Unit Sports Tourney got underway today in Suva. The annual event serves not only as a fun family affair, but also a selection ground for future tournaments. Talen Daudakadaka reports.
The opening address by the Prime Minister, Worengem Bainimarama, set the stage for the RFMF Wives and Mothers competition. After being reminded of the important role that these women play in the defense force, 35 teams took to the courts. Like all tournaments, there are always the big guns to look out for.
For the A-grade netball, it's engineers. For B-grade netball, it's LSU. For veterans grade netball, it's headquarters RFMF, which has the wife of our military commander and Prime Minister, Mary Bainimarama. She's in that team. And of course, for volleyball, we have Lautoka, the team from the West.
Competition was strong throughout today's games, with a couple of former national reps in the mix. This tournament will also serve as a scouting exercise for the upcoming Sukuna Bowl Challenge.
We select players that we feel are good enough to represent the Army Wives. That's in netball and volleyball for the Sukuna Challenge. As you know, we are the defending netball and volleyball wives champs. So we would like to choose our best players to represent the Army Wives.
The tournament concludes tomorrow, followed by an awards night at the Vodafone Arena. Teams will return to their respective units after a Sunday church service. Chalendo Dakadaka, FBC Sports.
That is your sports for tonight. I'll be back on Monday. Until then, have a safe weekend and good evening.
Every country has political and racial issues, but if it's able to generate wealth across the population, then overcoming these challenges shouldn't be hard. Roger Lascelles, who was the keynote speaker at the Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation's top executive conference, spoke on how Fiji can further develop its economy. Christopher Chand reports.
Top executives from around the country were given enough motivation this morning on how to innovate their companies.
Now, how do we build an economy? Because this is all about building economy. Now, we do have political and racial issues in this country like all other. If you can create wealth, all people can share in it, the country can prosper, and everybody will feel good about it.
Roger Lascelles says Fiji has huge potential to attract new businesses, which will generate wealth leading to economic growth.
Take advantage of the wonderful assets you've got here, the beautiful beaches. You can bring in inbound tourism, which is a service that brings in money. Start exporting call centres. Start exporting accounting services.
The Minister for Labour, who officially opened the conference, highlighted the progress being made by the government.
If a poor country wants to become rich, it must undergo a political transformation. This is an argument that makes more and more sense to me the more I think about it. This is why the events that have been happening in Fiji bode well for our future.
The two-day conference for top executives has brought together corporate leaders who can help shape business growth, leading to a stronger economy. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Weather time in Jen, how's it looking?
Well, there were clouds and showers throughout the country today, with some sunny moments in Nandi, Lautoka, Ba over here, and Lambasa. Let's look at temperatures now, and it looks like a fairly warm day for everybody. 3 centers today were on 31, while Lambasa's on 32 degrees, the nation's highest. So what does the weekend have in store for us? A lot of clouds in a lot of places, and some showers in one of our major centers. So, if you're living in Suva, keep an umbrella with you at all times. Margaret Nangiri gives us a bird's eye view of that bridge in Singatoka, and if the look of that photo reminds you of post-colonial days, I'm with you on that one. Thanks, Margaret. Now, you all have a great weekend, and as usual, you can catch me again next weekend.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. The headlines again. Fiji-New Zealand relations won't be easy to fix, says Fijian Prime Minister. New Fiji Airways CEO Stefan Pichler says Airbus A330s belong to Fiji Airways and not Wangavuka Financing Limited as speculated. And National Fire Authority eyes Como Park in Samambula outside Suva for new headquarters. To the poll question now, when we're asking, should the new Australian government engage with Fiji quickly? Visit the FBC website to take part. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. And that's news for tonight. I'll be back again on Monday. Until then, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Modemanda.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on Ghar Sansar, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Hope you're enjoying the music right now on Gold FM. Only the classic hits, especially if you're spending your time at home or around the office. I certainly hope you're taking it easy and enjoying the music coming your way. Well, I got a whole lot more to keep you moving and to keep you going right up until you reach knock-off time. I'm Kara. Join me every weekday from 2 to 7 on The Ride, only on Gold FM.